Hello YouTubers.
Hello YouTubers.
Hello YouTubers.
Hello YouTubers.
Okay viewers, in this video, we are in Panama City Airport. And we plan to do our show in the air, instead of using the studio. We will still use the studio once in a while. So we decided that this would make it more interesting. We are going on several vacations while Curtis is out of school. So this will be our first vacation, and we decided to fly to Mount Rushmore, so we can enjoy seeing the memorial and other interesting things in that area. I will now let Terry explain the flight.
Thank you for that, Jack. Okay, now, as you can see, I'm getting some fuel put in my plane now while we stand out here and explain everything. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to take off from here and we're going to fly to our midway point. We're going to Mount Rushmore, but that's in South Dakota. And that's where Mount Rushmore is. But what we're going to do is we're going to go halfway in order to get some more fuel. And that will be in the city of Kansas City. That's where we will stop to get some fuel. Alright, now as we are flying, I will have all of my focus on trying to use the autopilot system and making sure everything's in line. So pardon any mistake that is made in this animation. Also, I want to mention that we now have, all four of us is going to have headsets. We now have them. It's going to be Bluetooth headsets. So that way we won't have to worry about all them cords dangling. Alright, let's all get inside, and I will explain more as we go. Okay, we are inside the aircraft. I have it all cranked up and running. Alright, now we're going to test the headset. Curtis, can you hear me?
Yes sir Mr. Terry, I hear you fine.
Very good, Curtis. Alright, Jack, can you hear me in your headset?
Yes Terry, I can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, very good. Okay, now, Diane, can you hear me in your headset?
Yes, I can hear you, Terry.
Very good, Diane. Alright, now. Okay, here we go. Does anyone have any questions? Oh, look, Curdy. Looks like we have a Cessna trying to get ahead of us. He looks like he's in a hurry, huh?
Yes sir Mr. Terry, he is in a hurry.
Terry, I have a question.
Okay, what's your question?
How long is it going to take to get to Kansas City?
Well, according to my calculation, it's going to take us 3 hours.
That's amazing Terry.
Look, Curdy, he's taking off.
Yes, sir, I see.
Okay, now we will stop up here at this line, Curdy, so that we can give him time to clear the runway. Then we can take off.
Yes, sir, Mr. Terry, that makes sense.
Okay, Curdy, we want to make sure we look both ways to make sure there's no airplane trying to land.
Yes, sir, I understand, Mr. Terry.
Okay, now, Curdy, when we get up in the air, I want you to get your hand ready to lift the landing gears up. And only put your hand there. And then lift the gear up when I say now.
Yes, sir, Mr. Terry, I will be glad to.
Curtis, I want you to wait until the wheels are off the ground before you put your hand on that gear control. Do you understand, son?
Yes, sir, Dad, I understand.
Thank you, Jack. I meant to tell him that.
You are welcome, Terry.
Okay, everybody, here we go.
Mom, this is the fun part.
I agree, son.
Okay, Curtis, put your hand on the gear. Okay, now. Okay, everybody, we are now at 20,000 feet up in the air. And we are cruising. Alright, I checked everything and it's working great. I got the autopilot on and it's cruising along. Alright, now we can go ahead with our studio opinion and I will let Jock start it and he will explain what we're talking about. Alright, Jock, take it away.
Thank you, Terry. Okay, viewers, we will be talking about artificial intelligence. It's also called AI. People think of AI as being a fake brain and it brings people's mind to the home assistance devices. However, home assistance devices are different than real AI, because home assistance is just using a large internet and Wikipedia type of data for all it knows. But AI is more powerful than home assistance devices, because AI is being trained by us humans, and it is also learning as everyone adds conversation data. Okay, Terry, I will let you make some comments on AI.
Thank you, Jack. Okay. Um, as I understand it, there's a lot of people using artificial intelligence to create art, create pictures, and even artistic pictures. They are making all kinds of created pictures that is, make you drop your jaw. Pictures that you wouldn't think that this artificial intelligence could do. But since they were trained with so many different kinds of pictures and files and stuff that was put in the system before we even ask. They got what you call a prompt, and you type in some words in that prompt, and what it does is that it comes back with some picture or art, and there is even reports of singing capability. Also, artificial intelligence is being able to mimic people's voices. That is incredible. All right, that's my thoughts. What about you, Curdy? What do you think about it?
Thanks, Mr. Terry. I like what you said about AI, singing. That can come in handy, for like when you are writing a song and you want to know what it's going to sound like. Also, there are lots of people concerned about privacy and concerns about AI taking over the world. But I feel that the trainers are trying their best to keep the bad thoughts out of the data that is being trained. And also, there is now schools are starting to make sure you don't use AI to cheat on your homework, because they have ways to tell if you used it. But I think it's okay to use an essay or write a book as long as it's not for making a grade. AI will change the way we work and make movies and such. That's all I have, Mr. Terry.
Thank you for that, Curdy. I like what you had to say about singing. That is very interesting. Okay. Alright, what do you think, Diane?
Thanks, Terry. I like what Curtis was saying about the school being able to tell if the students are cheating. I agree to all that. But like a lot of folks out there, we have to learn to work around AI, and to allow ourselves to learn how to get along with the new robots that are coming out, and using the chat capabilities that make them seem so real. As long as we humans learn to use disclaimers on our generated photos and other kinds of AI work. Also, I feel that when it seems like we can't find work, we can still do other odd jobs like keeping our planet clean, and many other ideas. Okay, Terry, that is all I have.
Thank you, Diane. I like what you had to say about robots. I meant to mention robots earlier, but I forgot. Alright, Jack, is there anything you want to add?
I have no more comments, except I do like what Diane was saying about robots taking our jobs. I do hope we can get creative, and find work. Okay Terry, we are done with our talk, and I would like to thank everyone for sharing their thoughts about AI, and Terry, how long until we land?
Thank you for that, Jack. Well, according to my instrument, we have about 30 more minutes, and then I will have to start descending. And then when we get to 3,000 feet, we will get ready to put the landing gear down and we will land. And I will let Curtis help with that.
Thanks, Mr. Terry. I feel like I'm your co-pilot.
Well, Curtis, being that you are sitting up here with me, that automatically makes you my co-pilot. And I thank you for all your help that you're doing. Alright, everyone. We are wanting to make sure that our belts are good and tight, because in about 30 minutes we're going to start going down, and it's going to take at least 15 minutes to get down to 3,000 feet. Alright? Let's all enjoy the ride. Okay, everybody, make sure your belts are good. We're about to land. And Curdy, I want to thank you for helping me with the landing gear up and then down. Alright.
You are welcome, Mr. Terry. I'm glad I could help.
I'm proud of you, Curtis. This is good experience for you.
Thanks, Mom. I will study hard on flying lessons.
Curtis, I will recommend that you watch everything Terry does, and says to you, because for now, he is your first instructor.
Yes, sir, Dad. I will follow what he says.
Touchdown, Cody. How was my landing?
That was perfect, Mr. Terry.
Terry, I agree with Curtis, that was a very good landing. Very smooth.
Thank you for that, Jack. That's what I've been trained to do, make good landings. We're almost at parking.
Curtis, you did good, son.
Thanks, Mom. I will get even better.
Okay, let's all get out and talk to the camera.
Terry, that was a good long flight. We were able to do our studio opinions in the air. That was really interesting. This may become a habit. But again, I know it can be expensive to maintain the plane. Okay, Terry, I want you to explain what will happen next. And then when you are done, I will close this video for you. I want to take this moment to thank you, Terry and Curtis, for such a good job being pilot and co-pilot. Okay, Terry, you can go ahead and tell us what's next.
Okay, thank you, Jack. Now, what we're gonna do, we're all gonna try to go out and find something to eat. I'm sure we're all hungry. And then while we're all gone eating, my plane will be getting more fuel put in. And then when we get back, we will just get inside the plane. No need to talk to the camera. And we'll just be cranking it up and ready to roll. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take off and from here, and then we're going to go to South Dakota, a city called Rapid City, South Dakota. And my estimate is that it is another 3 hours away. And so I'll explain more in the next video on part 2. Alright, Jack, you can go ahead and close this video.
Thank you, Terry. You are right, we are all hungry and ready to find a good restaurant somewhere and eat. We will get a taxi cab to get there and back because a rental car cost more. In our next video, we will continue where we left off, right here in Terry's plane. In part 2, I will let Terry explain more about the flight after we get our headsets on. Which reminds me, Terry, those headsets are really nice to wear. Okay, be sure and subscribe, and hit the like and bell button. And do leave some comments and ask questions. And pardon any animation mistakes Terry makes if any. Okay, until part 2. Bye, friends.